Welcome back to Mega Man X4. My name is Narcotis. Let's go to the jungle, everyone. Web Spider, everyone. He protects the secret weapon of the jungle. Yeah, there's a little bit of flavor text at the beginning of each boss thing, and it kind of tells you what you're doing there, and I don't know. This game, okay, so one thing about the Mega Man X series is that they tried to give the game kind of more of a story, provide Mega Man with more background, and so the story briefly goes like this. Mega Man X, Mega Man X takes place kind of hundreds of years after the Mega Man games, and it's because Dr. Light, as you can see right there, that's his ghost or a hologram of him. He knows, but he's very up to date on current events here. I don't know how. Anyway, the point is that Dr. Light created Mega Man X, which is the first robot to ever have free will, or like a soul or whatever. And so Dr. Light, fearing that this would go out of control, buried or locked Mega Man X away, and hundreds of years later Mega Man X was discovered, and now like all robots have free will, and they're called Reploids, sort of like to give them sort of like a citizenship status, I guess. And so that's the premise of Mega Man X. Oh, and all the bad guys are called Mavericks because they they disobey the first rule of robotics or whatever, which is no robot can bring harm to a human. You know, Isaac Asimov stuff. But the point is that, I mean, well, okay, so Mega Man never really needed a story, guys. Come on, let's be honest with ourselves here. I mean, it needed characters, kinda. You know, like it needed a reason for you to be jumping, moving right, and shooting your gun. But it didn't really need like a narrative, or I mean, and that's the problem. Okay, so Mega Man X, I mean, like all the X games sort of have like these dialogue-ridden cutscenes, but none are so tiresome as they are in this one. And it's not really even the dialogue in this game; it's the anime cutscenes, which thank God you can skip because they're pretty insufferable. I mean, I don't know. When I was 12 or 13 or however old I was when I got this game, I was also into Dragon Ball Z and whatever else was on Toonami at the time. But I cared about it then, but even then I could recognize this is kind of a BS story. And I really only cared because I liked Mega Man, you know what I mean? Anyway, so the thing is about Mega Man X4 in particular, is that it was made in the early 90s, or not early 90s, the late 90s. And this is the era of, I mean, when CD-based games first started coming out, not even first started coming out, I guess following Final Fantasy VII, really, is when games started to kind of feel like they needed to be more cinematic because they had the ability to do so, you know what I mean? So a lot of games they started having like cinematic cutscenes or animated sequences or pre-rendered movies and stuff like that. I don't know. It made me and many other people yearn for a time when games were more simple instead of trying to be movies. I mean, now they practically are games these days. Like, you play a game like Halo or something, Halo 4. They pretty much are movies now. And they have the same budget. They have like actual actors and stuff like that. And they're nice. They're great to play and watch and stuff. But games like this were in an in-between era where budgets weren't quite as high as they are now, and so they weren't able to get great voice acting and stuff like that. And so it just turns out to be a little more than embarrassing. And in a lot of these cases, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of stuff still like lost in translation from Japanese in some of these earlier PlayStation titles. But you know, what are you gonna do? Web Spider's dead, by the way. He's not a very hard boss. In fact, I don't even think he has a weakness. I could be wrong about that, but I've tried every Robot Master weapon against him. He doesn't have a weakness to anything. I don't know what it is. You know, so I think he's kind of meant to be the first boss. Mostly because his weapon acts as sort of like a wall you can jump against. It allows you to jump up higher and get to a lot of secrets. Which you'll see more in the next video. Bye.